So the leader of the Green Party in the UK, Zach Polansky, or Dave Poulden, I think his real name is, has got himself into a spot of bother for retweeting somebody who was critical of the police kicking this Somalian fellow in the head while they were attempting to disarm him. He wasn't letting go of his knife, having stabbed 3 people already, and having been tasered. I don't know so much about how tasers work, but I thought that they completely incapacitated a person. Maybe not. Anyway, um, the the guy in charge of the Green Party, I am trying. He's a mystery to me. Um, First of all, why is he so popular? But then also trying to examine the sort of things that he promotes and how that makes any sense at all. And it doesn't make sense. The trajectory that he seems to be embarking on, especially with his deputy, who's it Muffin Ali or something, the guy who likes to shout Allahu Akbar, and people are genuinely, and I would say rightfully, worried that if Zach Polansky is forced to resign, then this Islamist fellow will be in charge of the Green Party. And the Green Party are surprisingly, dangerously popular in this country. And it seems as if the Islamists have infiltrated what once used to be a party which was focused on preserving the environment, and that's something I can get behind. Although the way that they have intertwined that with communist politics and ideology is a complete red flag for me. So I could never vote for some party or organization like that. That's not to say, well, this is an area I certainly would like to return to, where the people, or some people on the right, are saying that climate change is a complete hoax and a conspiracy. I disagree, although I think that it has been co-opted politically in a very stupid and destructive way. But the thing about, so I digress slightly, the thing about the Green Party and Zach Polansky is GST, Great Societal Takeback, was saying something along the lines of, well, he's a useful idiot, and he's a self-hating Jew, and or Zionist. That may be self-hating. I don't know. That's I don't understand how a person who is genuinely self-hating can ascend to the lead position in a political movement or party. I don't understand how that could happen, but it seems by the very fact that he is 1, Jewish and 2, gay, how is he then promoting the Islamist thing? Because it's common knowledge, I thought, that if the Islamists have their way, then 2 things they will not tolerate. One is being gay, and the other is being Jewish. And in recent times, you know, with this whole globalize the Intifada, the Muslims attacking and stabbing Jews, it's a absolute shit show, and it doesn't seem to be improving. So why would anyone who has the remotest interest in, you know, trying to make things better in the country where they live, why would they be supporting such things? And I think some of it boils down to just sheer ignorance, but it's also the mind viruses of the woke ideology and the Islamist ideology. And of course, we have to distinguish between, on the Islamic side of things, the moderate Muslims and the extremists. And of course, very often the extremists are the ones who are the most vocal. The peaceful, moderate ones, I think to a large degree, don't really know, or they haven't looked into, or they haven't had time to look into exactly what lies at the heart of that particular religious ideology. There's so much to explore with that, and there are many other people who are way more knowledgeable about Islam than I am. But it's important, I think, to try to figure these things out and push the conversation forward and increase overall awareness, especially when there seems to be suicidal empathy infiltrating the institutions in this country. And the very fact this is a country, if you have open borders, which is what the Green Party promotes, then what you're basically implying is that there's no such thing as a country. And then all human beings are just, we're part of the same species. I agree with that. But to ignore the fact that there are tribal elements, people have a sense of group preference. And obviously people who have things in common gravitate towards one another. That's, you cannot deny that. And to try to do so is, it's kind of insane. It makes no sense. And I, for one, in the figuring things out business, trying to make sense of it all, and trying to make the world, or do my small bit to make the world a better place for my children, who will inherit whatever I leave. And it's the same thing applies to other children. For many years I wasn't a parent, but I was an uncle, and my friends have children who are significantly older than mine. And so even people who are not parents, they still have a sense of a feeling of protection towards young people who they care about. Now, you might argue you should care about all young people, and that's kind of true, and I do. I think there's nothing more innocent than a newborn baby, wherever they happen to be born. And I would even say the same thing about animals, although that's a slightly different category. But being kind to other life forms and other people is, I think, a quality that we human beings have, and it's a good quality. But when you are too kind, as Tunneliner pointed out in his recent videos, when you're too nice, some people, they see that as a form of weakness, and they will take advantage of that. So that is something we need to be aware of. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.